civilization.
Do you think that the pendulum will swing back to the gatekeeper idea?
I don't, but there are some things that are so fragmented. And again, we're trying to understand all this in the sense of America. Like a literal third of a continent. And so to me, this is where I think I might be honestly a little bit smarter than most people, because this goes back to asking about presuppositions. Why is everyone trying to assess America on the same terms as the size of Germany or Sweden or Norway or Pakistan? These are tiny little specks of dirt. And this idea of nationalism and communication and tribalism and all, America is so big that I don't think it even gets in the game by which to be compared. And those who are Americans know, who have traveled the country, especially in a van, that all these places are very different. You're basically going into different countries when you travel. So what we're dealing with right now, I believe, is because the gatekeepers are gone from a communication standpoint, our identity is now gone as a country. But it was a miracle that we ever had an identity in the first place, and it was maintained by a couple different outlets of communication, which, because those are gone now, everyone will be siloed, and it won't be state by state. It will be content platform by content platform. That's sort of like my heavy trying to be thoughtful assessment. And I think every problem we could bring up will fall into that paradigm. Well, how do I answer this? Well, it goes back to America being so big. It goes back to being siloed. It goes back to, you will never again be able to control a narrative. We're at a point now where people are legitimately I think I would point to the most radical thing going on right now is probably Tucker Carlson. Because Rogan kind of changes everything unwillingly. But Rogan was kind of doing what Howard Stern was doing. This 3, 4, 5 hour radio podcast was really a 5-hour conversation. Rogan does that. And Rogan becomes the only kind of person with that influence to talk about COVID during the pandemic. But then Tucker leaves, and Tucker says, well, I guess I'll just go on a social platform and do my own thing. And Tucker legitimizes, for better or for worse, every conspiracy conversation as a real conversation. Because we're dressed up, we look nice. Let's have a thoughtful conversation about flat Earth. Right? Now, I like the topic, so it's fun, but what happens when, let's have a thoughtful conversation on pedophilia? So what's happening is all the siloed forms of communication are giving unbelievably never seen before credence. It's almost like, I felt like empathy was the big word for the last 5 years, which to me is the worst word. I feel like the next word's going to be nuance.
I think that's already starting.
Okay.
No, I think you're right. Oh, yeah, he does it. It's just not as nuanced. Or you don't understand the nuance of the because nuance can be used.
Look, let's be nuanced. Even if you kill 1 million Jews, it's still bad. But the 6 million, look, I still think it's horrible. But I think maybe what we should be looking at more is maybe this was a disease outbreak scenario.
Right.
And so it wasn't so much that they hated the Jews, but they had to get rid of them. Still horrible. But the gas chambers being built were more about we have to clean up this medical scenario.
Is this a theory?
This is, sorry to inform you.
No. On Yom Kippur, no less.
On Yom Kippur. No, this is the conversation now. And so the nuance that's coming, because we're now questioning everything. And I think we have a right to question a lot of things. This goes back to kind of my opening thing was, I don't know who believes what. And we're like, I thought my liberal friends were like hated big pharma. Like every liberal I knew growing up into my adult age, hippie liberal, like, what are you talking about? We hate big pharma. And the flip is like, I don't know what happened that liberals now love big pharma. It's a joke, but it's not a joke. I'm just observing. Like, I don't like, when did all my Republican friends be anti-war? Like, this is so strange. And for guys like me and you, we come from subcultures.
Yeah.
We traded in subcultures, knowing how to talk to a metal kid, to a hardcore kid, that indie label, understanding that there's something groundbreaking when, what's the label that's the hardcore emo label that ends up putting out Coheed and Cambria?
Equal Vision.
So Equal Vision's a hardcore label. But then they put out Saves the Day.
Label.
Yeah, correct.
Label, a Christian hardcore label, yeah.
Right? And then they put out Saves the Day, I think,
yep.
Which is emo pop at the time. We didn't know what to call it, right? Pop punk, emo, whatever. And then they put out Coheed.
Pierce the Veil.
Pierce the Veil, right? Like, so for us, we're constantly looking at the subculture and the changing of a label. And wait, you're this now? Wait, where are you going? Like, wait, you're that. And so we've learned to identify subcultures on the deepest level that control cultures. And so when you're trained to see that, when you're trained to hear Equal Vision, which Equal Vision?
Right. No, that's so true.
Which era? So what was the super prog rock band on Revelation?
Iceburn.
There's another one.
Oh, not Shai Hulud.
No, super prog, technical, long hair.
Oh, wait, well, because you say that, and I think of, and they weren't on Rev. You make me think of that band at the drive-in, but that's
not. I'm talking about long hair metal dudes.
It wasn't Dead Guy.
No. You're gonna get it later. It's Revelation.
Was it like?
It was like progressive metal, jammy guitar leads, and like, again, not like, it was Revelation.
Iceburn? No. Into Another.
Because the director was the guy that went on to do like Blink videos and stuff later. Mark, what's his name? But that didn't fit. Right? It didn't fit, but again, we kind of have to make a place for it. We understand subcultures. The world now, I think the reason why guys like me and you may have a particular distinct advantage moving into the world that's been segmented and fractured is we know how to move within subcultures, identify subcultures, and speak that language. And so when we talk about Equal Vision or Coheed or Snapcase, Buffalo Hardcore, overalls and big jeans versus what was West Coast doing, we have lived in a world of identifying subcultures.